go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So both of our lives are really good. We have nothing immediate that is troublesome. However, both of us are a little unhappy at the current moment. We've got things eating away at the back of our minds. So we're going to talk about it and try to figure out what those things are, kind of vent it out, and try to come to some sort of productive conclusion on what's going on. You guys are about to watch a self-therapy session. If we're being very honest here.
Oh, yeah.
Which we try to be very honest, so most days. Alright, so you're about to send your dog away, which is one thing.
Yep. To me, it's kind of like a compounding thing. I got a bunch of different stuff going on. Oh, as you stated previously, life's pretty dang good. Like, legitimately, I have nothing not to be grateful for. And I am nearly every day. In fact, me and a coworker, we daily, we don't work in the same facility, but we message each other every single day, and we're like, hey, what are you grateful for today? Every single day. I love it. It's an awesome way to interact at work. Just one little thing of, I'm grateful for this today. It's like, no matter how crappy the workday is, you got to find something. Too bad. You got to be grateful.
I have a coworker who every day asks me what homosexual activities I partook in the night before. So yours sounds a bit more productive.
I think they're about the same.
Okay.
No, it's pretty good. And yeah, man, there's a lot of other things that are just genuinely good, right? But yeah, there's this weird, just like today, and maybe a little yesterday. So it's not like it's this building thing that's been around for a while. But I feel like it's probably surrounding some compounding, I guess, concerns building up over time. What I've learned in the past is it often is, I have a bunch of open items that my brain is being consumed by. It's like, I'm worried that I'm not getting my school done. I'm starting a new job. My dog's about to leave. Don't spend enough time with her. I got a bunch of responsibilities I got to start doing. I got to play her Christmas music, which is like 2 full days of just solid commitment. A bunch of other things. It's all just compounding, right? My problem is I've never come up with a good way to like appropriately deal with that other than addressing each item one by one as they happen. And the shitty part right now is none of them are things I can go and just like fix. It's all delayed, responsive things like in the future that I will address them. They will happen, but I'm in a weird spot where I can do nothing right now other than just be present in what I have, try to find gratitude in my current situation, which I do attempt to do most every day. And then there I'm like stuck. So it's this general negative feeling that I have. And I don't know that I necessarily can or even should get rid of it, if that makes sense.
Okay. See a lot of stressors coming up, and they're all compounding, and you have, at the current moment, little control over them.
Correct.
Yeah, it sucks. That sucks.
The control aspect.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yes, because you can't just get rid of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not so much a matter of being like, I just don't want to face them. I don't want to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more so that you can't right now.
Literally. You're onto something with that control aspect. It is literally a lack of control in its purest form. I can't ignore it, and I can't fix it. It will all just take its own time. So lingering with the lack of control was really just frustrating. You know what I mean? But yeah, I guess my lack of knowing what to do with that is the frustrating part to me, because I'm just like, okay, I just exist and I live with this slight amount of stress in the back of my mind. And that's just there? Should it be? Should it not be? I don't know. And that's like, I guess that's what's like just lingering on me. And how about yourself?
Do we want to, before we get to me, do we want to try to see what like you can do about that?
Oh, for sure. We can. I didn't know if we wanted to compound them or go one at a time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to forget, if I get into what I'm talking about, we might tangent there and then that I'll forget to get back to you. And
I'm all game on that.
So I guess like, yeah, what do you, in like a practical sense, like what do you do about it?
You know, it was interesting. On my way over here, I was just thinking about that because I knew we'd be talking about something, and what's on our hearts is often what we bring into a conversation, right? Devoid if it's the topic or not, it's gonna somewhat bleed in. So I was like, what can I do right now? So I started praying about it while I was on the way here, and I was just like, what do you want me to do with my time right now? Just targeting. I'm like, what do you want from this scenario? It's like I'm not upset that I'm dealing with it. I can logically look at each one of those things and understand they are what I am making of them, and I can't do anything with them in this direct, tangible moment. So just let them be. But where does that leave me? Do I just have to feel this unpleasant feeling and just live with that? And I guess I'm just sitting now and waiting for some kind of answer. Might get it right now. Might get it tonight. Might not get that answer. I don't know. But that was, I guess, my first step on it. Just be like, hey, dude, sup?
Bro.
Hey, bro. You're my guy, bro. Figure it out.
You're my guy. You're my pal, buddy.
You're my dude, man.
You're my man, bro.
You're my buddy, chief.
You're my chief, captain.
But yeah, I think for me, it's an unsolved mystery that I understand where each item has its end. And from now till then, that is my unknown. And so what I have at the moment is just to live, exist, find gratitude in the moments that I have. My life is very good, and there's nothing inherently wrong with it at all. A lot of positives all over the place. It's just these little things that are eating at me a little bit that I don't fully understand if I should just let them be or do something about them. But as I understand it now, there's nothing I can do about them. So ipso facto, I kind of just have to let them be and then do my life around it.
Yeah, you kind of just have to accept them and then deal with them when they come.
Yep.
But it's pretty much a practice, a lesson in acceptance.
Acceptance, patience too.
Yep.
Patience for sure, which there are many things that I am extremely patient on. Other people. I'm extremely patient with other people because I have no control over other people and I don't care. And I have a lot of patience for people and there are multi-layers of stupidity. But things in my life, I'm very impatient with. Extremely impatient with. You want to get to it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And that kind of goes to the future-focused nature of my life. I'm like, okay, did that. Let's go to the next thing. But yeah, maybe this is a good example of a lesson in patience. At least at this acute moment, I'll take it as such and see what I can do with that.
Yeah, turn it into a positive.
Yep. That's a good direction, at least. We can jump. I'll throw anything back in if I think of it as we're going about it. But at this point, yourself, what do you have that you have, I guess, lingering on you?
First off, just a sentence of self-defense. I'm not as entirely douchey as I might appear to be. This shirt, I literally can't.
Oh, that one doesn't button together.
Oh, no, I think I can button this one. Or no, I can't. It stretches out. See, like, this one literally... But I love this shirt. I love this shirt. Fight me, bro. Like,
it loves you too.
No, like I love this. It's really tight, but it's so comfortable. I love this shirt. It's probably about one size too small, and obviously, like I can't button buttons, but it doesn't matter. I wear it anyways because I love it. I absolutely. So two things. One is I'm not doing what I can do. I'm not doing my part. I've got my standards. I've got what I know I like kind of need to do. It's like, this is what I envision to be a good life. This is what I envision for myself. This is what I envision. This is my standard. And I'm about one deviation below that standard.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm not hitting the benchmarks that I think are mandatory is because I'm not putting in the work. So it comes down to just laziness, procrastination, what have you. And so that's completely my fault. Like, so I'm feeling
is it guilty?
Yeah, just when I'm looking at myself, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I'm not proud of you. Like what are you doing? This mistake again. You know this lesson. Why are you doing this again? And then the second part of that is I came to the realization, you and I were talking about this before we turned the camera on. I came to the realization that I'm still in love with my ex, and I know I can't be with her, should not be with her.
Right.
Do not want to be with her. That is...
You're certain of that?
Yes. It is of the past, and that is where it will remain. But came to the realization, there are many, obviously not entirely, there's many aspects of her that I did not work well with, and it just long-term, the relationship would not have worked. But there were many aspects of the relationship and her that I was, and partially still am, madly in love with. And I think it's just, we're like 8 days away from Christmas, and it's like, this has always been just like growing up as a kid, and for my entire life, this has always been just a very pure, very beautiful, very good time of year.
Yeah.
Christmas is, I don't have any bad Christmas memories. They're all really good. They're all really loving. And I feel alone.
Yes.
I feel alone.
Yes. I can reciprocate that exact same feeling, because as I bring into Christmas, I have nearly similar feelings as yourself on that one, bud. But can you quick remind me what your first point was? So the X is that one. Oh, not achieving where you'd like to be. Okay. So I'm going to try to like chunk these out.
Cool.
The first one. So what I was going to ask was, do you feel as though, how would I phrase this? Do you feel as though you're upset with yourself for not having done things, or you feel as though you are a bad person for not having done the things you need to do?
I'm disappointed in myself.
Yes, but in that disappointment, is it that straight just disappointed, or disappointed and with a compound of you are bad for not having achieved?
A combination of the two. Because obviously, part of me wants to be like, no, you're a good guy, but you're just not hitting your benchmarks. And another part of me is like, you're still not hitting your benchmarks. Is this who you are? And I guess for me, I just don't know why I don't do it.
Yeah.
There's things that's like waking up today. It's like, get a good workout in. I do the beginning of a workout, very short, low intensity. I'm like, that's it. I'm done.
Feel that.
And it's like, dude, Like, take another half hour.
Right.
Work out. You know, it's like make that phone call.
Yes.
You know, because these things are important to me. These are, and like much more important things than working out. Working out's very minuscule compared to the things that
It's just the
other
example, though.
things. Yes, but like let's take the other things in life. Like these are things that I am living for. Like these are what my life revolves around, and I'm not doing them the way I should. It's like, come on, man. Like, why not? And that's the part that's getting me is I don't know why I'm not. You know.
Yeah, dude. I 100% get where you're coming from. For the longest time, I lived in a state of exactly that, and it drove me nuts. So, for the most part, what you're experiencing, and I am not, we know I'm not a professional, so what I'm saying, take it with a grain of salt. But my rough assumption would be you have a sense of guilt about not doing the things. That's normal. That's our human nature telling us, it's kind of our barometer, our conscious telling us, hey, you're not living up to the standard that I have set for you, the internal mind. But on top of it, the less helpful part is the shameful part, where you then denigrate yourself for not being the good person that you actually are. And I can affirm that for you as an external individual. You are a good person. You do have good character and you achieve good things.
Man, jokes, dude.
I know.
Inappropriate jokes. They're so good. Okay.
You can just land them. Just
I know.
dunk
It's
them.
like, there's just such, like right there, there's just perfect. Okay, and this is why I lose friends. They're trying to say something serious and I'm just landing. You know, my mind's just like.
Just dick jokes.
Dude, I don't know what it is. Can I go on a side tangent here? What is it that is so satisfying about massively offensive jokes? Or just like, here's the scenario. Boom. This is the level of seriousness. Nobody smiled. And then it's just like, the more serious a scenario gets, the more the brain is just like, that would be a massive...
There's a perfect punchline right here for that. Yeah. You know what I think that is partially? That has like twofold things. I think it's just one part of it and then it tangents into another one. I think, so me personally, I don't quite get those as often. You, sir, have a better knack for honestly well-timed jokes. No joke. Like
offending people?
Yeah.
So you are a master at offending people.
No, but like well-timed jokes, for sure. I'll give you that. You definitely surpassed me in that nature. Yeah. I think that kind of comes in from partially a defense mechanism. I think developed as in your youth as a way to not have to address those uncomfortable things. And it's not that you don't want to do it now. You very much are totally willing to do that now, but it's still a lingering defense mechanism that you have. And then it just like pops out. It's like, fuck, I need to say this.
I don't know. It's just...
And I, again, could be making shit up. I don't know. But
it's like at the end of the day, the things that... It's like... It's one of the top 3 things that I just value the most.
Oh, yeah.
Is just a great joke. And it's not even so much for the comedy of it. I think as much as it is...
It's like an art almost.
Like the existential level. Like, wow, that person was so in tune with the moment... but still saw that, like, hey, life has to be some enjoyment and beauty in life. And yeah, this is a very, this is a tense situation. Everyone's just on the edge. And I can see that. And I know that this would be something you would not say. And I just, it's something I admire. Like, it's something I really admire when people can just pull that joke out. And it's just like, and for me, it's not even so much about the comedy.
Yeah.
I think that I love it. The reason I love it, you know, obviously you want the laugh. Yep. But it's almost, for me, it's almost existential. It's almost you're tapping into that soul where it's like, you know, you get into an intense situation and it's like, oh my God, this is bad. I can feel it. We all feel it, but do I only feel it like by myself? Like, what exactly are we feeling? It's too inappropriate. I can't really venture out and ask, like, what are you feeling right now? But when that person like looks me right in the eye and starts off with something very serious and then just flips it 180 and they give me that look, it's like, okay, they know exactly what I'm going through and they know exactly what I need to hear.
Yep.
And it's almost like that relief for the soul. And like when you can just like see that in that person, be like, boom, but this, and then you can look at it and be like, hey, like I know what you're going through, but let's lighten it up a little bit, eh? Or like, here's a little, I'm sorry you're going, like, without actually saying it, you're saying to them, I'm sorry you're going through this, and here's a little flower.
Yeah.
Like, here's a little cookie.
Actually, there is something to that. There totally is, dude. There totally is.
I wish, man, I'd love to get into, like, if anyone knows what it is, like, on a scientific, or you have your theories on the existential side of it, please, please, please comment or send us a message, because I really want to know, and I don't have the answers.
I genuinely think this is an art form that you have a higher proclivity than most for. And I do mean that literally, like an actual art form. It's like a well-timed, well-executed poem almost, but in the nature that you just described it. So it's this high-intensity scenario, but it's not done in a mean or brutal way. It's just done in this way where I can respect what you are saying. I'm here with you. Also, here's this slight little gift. And if we'd like to take it any direction, we can joke, we can be serious, whatever, but I've opened the door and handed this thing to you. Yeah, that's intriguing. I like that. Oh, but on the heart of the things that you got going on, I think one of the key things that I learned over the year for me was how not to kill myself over stuff. So I have a cycle that I do. Basically like a negative cycle that tells me I'm a piece of shit. I look at things as I should do this, right? Start off with I should work out more, or I should just work out. We'll just take that as the example. Input anything you want here. I should work out. Okay, I go do workout. Well, I should do these things. I did like 2 of them. I'm going to leave. I'm done with that. And then I should have done more. And then there's this negative state of me that's like, I should have done that thing. And then there's a future projection version of me. Workout's probably a bad example for this, but like, take it something I didn't do at all. My dishes. I should do my dishes. Whatever. Future projection of me takes the idea of what can happen and should happen and just projects the most negative version of that. I'm not going to get it done. I'm not worthwhile. It doesn't need to be done. Whatever. Anything. Take anything here, project it forward, and take a negative spin on that. And then the last step for me personally is I should have done something. I look at it future bound and think of it in a very negative way. And then retrospectively, I sit back and I regret not having done XYZ. So it's a vicious cycle of should, nope, it's going to suck, regret for not having done the good thing. And then I eat myself alive in this cycle of repeating just da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What I've since done, and do not do perfectly, like just a few days ago I caught myself doing a whole lot of shoulds all over the place, is if it's something I can't control, I will look at it and address it as I should do this. Okay, it's a should. I'm going to do it in right now. I'm going to do it at XYZ time, or I am not going to do that right now. And that kind of cuts it off right at the head. It says, I will do this right now. And if I quit halfway through my workout, I say, okay, I quit my workout. I'm done. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm just not putting in that effort today. That's not happening. The end. And that's where it cuts it. Just cut that whole cycle. For me anyways. Cuts the whole cycle right at the butt. Or if I'm like, I should do that. Okay, I actually should do that. I'm going to do that it's 5 o'clock right now. I'm going to eat some dinner. I'm going to sit and watch 30 minutes of TV. I'm going to put a timer on 30 minutes from now. Then I'm going to actually get up and do that thing. Or I look at it and go, I should do that. I could do it later. No, I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to worry about it today. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. The end. Now I'm not going to eat myself alive for not having done it. I've committed to the fact that it will not happen. And that's how I kind of like chop my cycle of self-deprivation, I guess you could say. But that's just me.
So the things you do, how do you get yourself to do them?
That's a great question. It's really, it's quite strange. When I acknowledge it as a should, and I look at it as, oh, I'm going to half-ass this thing. It's kind of just acknowledging it right there, going, oh, not passively, because I'll passively do stuff all the time and like half do this and half do that and partially do whatever, you know?
Yes.
Without really just stopping. And I literally mean stop everything you're doing for 1 second. Take 5 actual seconds to think it. Say, I am going to do this and do it. Whatever that is. Just stop everything, because what's going to happen is you're going to distract yourself, and it will become a lingering thought of just guilt. Just guilt that could spiral into shame. But if you do not look at it, it's looking at the dragon instead of ignoring it, right? You know the dragon is there. You're well aware that it's there. It's breathing fire at you all the time. And you can either cower from it and just acknowledge that it's there. Oh shit, it's there. Or you can look right at it and say, I'm going to deal with this right now. And that's literally all it is. At least for me. I don't know how better to describe that. But it's taking the actual moment to stop. Say, this is the thing that I will do. To yourself. And if you don't do it to the extent that you want to do it, when you're at the point when you're done, you say, either you readdress it and go, I need to keep doing this. I need to finish this. Or, I'm done at this point. I am going to walk away. And you take that time and do it. It's the passiveness of the things that we do that eat us alive. It's the non-acknowledgement of things slowly happening that will eat you alive. If you just let it kind of happen, it'll compound into that guilt, shame pile of, oh, this sucks. I should be better, blah, blah, blah. Instead of just 2 seconds. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I will do it at this time. Or, I'm going to do it right now. Boom. That's how in my best state of mind, that's how I deal with it.
Okay. Yeah, it's something I definitely need to actively work on. And it's one of the things that I will be presenting to my therapist the next time we see each other. Mm-hmm. They asked me to come up with a quick list of things that I want to work on, and I'm going to ask them, why don't I do the things?
Say the word should and see what he takes away from that. Because I literally, everything I told you right now, I got a pamphlet from my therapist. It was like, hey, this, she didn't want to insult me, but she was like, this is kind of basic and I need you to have this. And I was like, okay, well, I do feel insulted, but I'm going to take it regardless.
I feel self-insulted.
Yeah. But she's like, hey, here's a bunch of different mindsets that you can have. Should was one of those mindsets. And then the future projection of negativity and regret. Those were all, on the mindsets. And I just, in and of myself, took it and went, I do this one, and then it compounds into this, and then it compounds into that. Doesn't have to be, it's not everybody, but that was me. So, yeah, to your point, that's exactly how I realized this stuff, man. And again, I don't do this all the time, but in the best state of my mind, that is how I address it effectively.
Okay. Is there anything you want to touch on? Or we've got 1 minute left. We could either end it here. We could start the camera up going again. What do you say we stop it for now? We'll talk for a few minutes. If we decide to turn the camera on again,
I think that's completely appropriate.
Okay, so this might be the end of it. Otherwise, there might be an additional 10, 15, half an hour. To be decided.
And you're going to know really, really quick.
Yeah, you're going to know within the next 30 seconds. Yeah. All right, man.
Either way.
All right. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Question answered.
It was the cigars. It was totally the
cigars. We realized we have half a cigar left. What do you think of these?
Not as good as those. I'll say it straight out. But that's me.
I'm undecided.
Okay.
I'm undecided on it. So yeah, we decided to keep going because we felt as though we had literally just tapped the topic. We literally felt like we had literally just started going. And Matt, you had asked us kind of a
Yeah, a lot of different stuff into a
question with a few different angles, and part of that was regarding therapy and stuff like that. So maybe that is the direction we'll kind of keep going. I guess in that thought, therapy, like why?
Yeah, I think it's a great topic.
Why should people go to therapy? Why shouldn't people go to therapy? Yeah. What to expect?
Yeah, it's really strange because not everybody's going to do it, but and it took like something extreme for me to do it, right? And I mean, you can give your own example, but man, I think if you have any level of thinking that says, oh, maybe I should go to maybe I should discuss that with someone, then dude, you probably should. Like, you just straight up probably should. You don't have to feel bad about it. Going to therapy isn't like a failure, which for some reason our society like chalks it up as failure. Like, oh, I have failed as a human being, therefore I got to go fix it. It's like
there was a gentleman back in like the 50s or 60s who got cancer, and it was terminal. And he told his family members, his wife, his kids, to not breathe a word of it because he thought it would be viewed as a sign of weakness. And the reason I bring that up is because it was in the same conversation of people going to therapy, and it was looked like it was, if your leader went to therapy, you would have massive doubts about your leader.
Yeah.
Whereas now,
I'm looking at the exact opposite now.
Yeah, for me, I view it as, let's say you're into working out, or you want to start working out, you want to get into nutrition. Where do I start? Well, what do? You research it, or you hire a coach, you hire a personal trainer, you hire someone who writes you out an eating plan, a diet plan. That's kind of how I view a therapist, but with your psychology.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to improve my psychology, or I've got problems within my psychology and I don't really know what direction to go. And I think a humorous aspect of it is, it's things like we need to vent out, but you've got all your loved ones who, 30 years down the road are like, of course I love you, I'll listen to you, but dude, how long is this going to be? I'm kind of like, I'm tired of listening to your crap, dude. And the humorous aspect of this is like, okay, here's a person who I'm paying so they have to listen to me. Like, they're kind of forced.
Dude, it's like a hooker.
It's a hooker for your brain. By the way, that's a joke. They're not nearly as good as hookers.
No. I love it.
That's one thing I'll never do.
No. Oh, gosh, no.
But, yeah, the way I see it is you're basically hiring a psychology coach.
Yeah. To me, it's like the working out, getting healthy example is the most tangible example because that's physical and mental, right? You're physically doing your health and stuff. A therapist is a great example of mental. It is not the only. I'll say that for sure. It's not the only. Not every person needs to do this.
And we're not saying it's the best either.
Nope.
It's
just, I would say if you feel you want to be better than you currently are and do not know how to, it's a freaking great tool. It is a great tool to start with.
You literally have someone who got their doctorate in psychology.
Yes.
So
yeah. It's the exact same as getting a personal trainer to help you reach the physical physique that you are aiming for.
And it's kind of like a personal care provider in the sense that it's like I go in once a year, get my blood drawn. It's like, hey, your cholesterol's high. And it's like, oh, yeah, I was feeling I've been feeling a little weird the last 6 months. It's like, yeah, okay, we need to change that. You go to see a therapist and they're like, you
You're doing this thing that's not quite healthy for you.
It's like, oh, now that you mention it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of that professional outside perspective really is exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
verbatim.
That's pretty much in the dictionary right there.
Yeah, dude. No, I think so. In that vein of therapeutic discussion, man, there's a lot. There's a lot of things that we don't know that we should deal with. I think the most eye-opening thing for me with therapy is like I came into it with relatively having an agenda. I have this issue. I want to deal with this issue. Understanding that, like, I knew that I didn't know how to do the issue. Therefore, that's why I'm at therapy. But having a rough idea that, okay, I'm going to fix this type of thing. The thing that shocked me was the second I start digging into it, it is nothing of what I expect, which is a good thing because obviously my expectations have got me to wherever that is, right? So if it's not what I'm expecting, then I'm going to be able to deal with something in a way that I haven't dealt with something, right? To me, that's the best part about it, is that professional is giving you perspective. It's like, dude, as workout as the perfect example, it's like trying to go work out and not seeing the results you want because you're trying to do these certain things. And then if you went to a trainer and you were like, all right, you're going to teach me how to work out, but I think you're going to tell me to do this and this and this. And they're like, hey, we're going to do this thing. You're like, why the heck would we do that? That's not, and they're like, no, just do it. Just do it. And then, oh, my muscles are so I've never felt that before. It's
or perhaps it's the same things you're expecting, but all they're telling you is your wrists are too close together.
Yeah.
You know, and you're bending your wrists backwards too much. Like, seriously, just get better arm. And you're like, oh, well, I totally didn't see that. Yeah, it's like, okay, so, you know, we're not dumb. We know what our problem, we have an idea of what, but just getting that little tweak. And like the reason I went is kind of the exact opposite of the reason you went.
Yeah, it is, which is great perspective.
Yeah, and like the reason I went is there wasn't, like, I knew I have had problems, but I don't know exactly what they are. Like, you knew, like, I've got this problem.
I have this acute problem. Yes. I want to deal with it.
And me, it's like, I know I've got problems, but I've gone back and forth over them. They're the exact same. I'm in the gym. I'm not getting those results. I'm bench pressing every day, not getting results. My chest is still wimpy and puny, and I've been
meaning to talk to you about that for a while, but we'll get you there.
I'd be worried about fighting a 13-year-old girl in a wheelchair, you know?
I think you can take her. You just got to bring a bat.
Valid. So it's like, okay. The exact opposite perspectives. So it was like, you know, I guess for you, people in your case, it would be like, yeah, like this is...
Like, it makes sense.
This is, yes. You should probably, like, don't sit on this for a couple years.
No.
Get it taken care of.
Yep.
And then people in my realm where it's just like, man, I'm just not... I know what happiness is. I was there. I experienced it. But I haven't really been in that room in about 10 years. And I keep working on things. I keep making the same mistakes. It's like, please just... I don't really care what you tell me. I don't care how much it's going to hurt. You're not going to offend me. Like, it's to the point where I cannot keep living like this.
Yeah.
I cannot be this person anymore. Destroy my world.
Yep.
You know, rip me apart. Just, yeah.
Show me something I do not know.
Correct. Show me. I've tried what I know, and it's not working.
Right. It's, dude, it's a lesson in humility. Is what it is. You need to humbly come in and say, I don't know. I need help.
Yeah.
And I think that's something our culture does not advocate for. Now, I say that, and I fully understand that right now we probably have more awareness with social media and everything for mental health than we've ever had. I'll say that for sure. And I think people advocate this stuff all the time. But I don't think people actuate it as often as they should. I think it's more of a catchphrase or buzzwords to me. It's like, oh yeah, mental health. And then, oh yeah, I have trauma. It's like, Okay, if those things are accurate, what are you doing about it? Well, whatever.
I think, from my perspective,
Yeah.
I think therapists should be treated like, I think everyone should have one, like, in their regular health routine.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
It's like, okay, so you go, let's say you go 4 times in a month, 1 month a year.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
No. Hell no.
Not a bad idea.
Dude, that's a perfectly fine idea. I think one of the hard parts is like there's an expense to it for sure.
Yep.
And we're in a place where we can deal with that. Insurance helps a lot with that.
Yep. Insurance pays for pretty much all of mine.
Wow.
Yes.
I have average and no, comparatively it's either slightly above average insurance and it did not cover most of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say my insurance is pretty average.
Yours is uniquely better than mine in certain ways, I would say, for sure.
I'm a part of what I think to be a pretty good union.
Mm-hmm.
And I know my company does like mental health care.
Expenses, yeah,
to a degree, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what aspect of my insurance is, like if it's my company or the insurance that's covering it.
Yep.
But for example, I had to pay for my consultation, and then my sessions are free.
Wow, that's really really good.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it is expensive, but let's say you did the once a week, 4 weeks, a year, like 1 month, once a week for 1 month, a year. Even if you paid full price, that's not that much. You're looking at about $580. Let's say $600 a year, and you're like $600 a year. It's like,
and right, that price might vary for people.
It might vary,
like especially different countries. I have no idea what that is.
Different states might be more, but let's just say an average. Let's just say it's 600 a year. Let's say it's 1,000 a year.
Yeah, even chalk it up to 1,000.
Let's say 1,000 a year. How important is your mental health?
Yeah, that's not a joke. It's sincerely. I think there's a bunch of things that people utter that really bug me over time when they become either catchy or, I don't know, cultural. And people speaking about mental health in the most like wide-stepping view of it. Oh yeah, mental health is important. Like it's a buzzword and a phrase to me, and it really bugs me. It's like, I'm not just saying people that have trauma need to deal with their mental health. You do. If you have trauma, deal with it. That shit is going to ruin your life in a lot of different ways.
It's going to negatively affect everyone around you too.
Oh yeah, there's nothing good that's going to come from it. Like, deal with it. It's you can make some damn funny jokes from trauma. That's for sure.
Great jokes.
Some of the best, actually.
Great jokes. I came up with a pretty good joke today too.
Yeah. Worthy of telling or not right now?
Yeah. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. So women are obviously like very flawed, right? Like, and they get a bad rap. Like, there's like this idea in society that women are worse than men, right?
Sure.
For good reason. But men have their problems too. For example, they let women vote. Like, how messed up is that? You know, like, get your shit together, man. You know?
I know. Failures.
You know?
Oh, man.
I'm going to get kicked off of every... By the way, we're on 5 other platforms now because I have a feeling YouTube's going to cancel this at some point.
Oh, that's good, man.
But obviously, just a disclaimer, 100% a joke.
Oh, yeah.
But great comedy. And women, you can flip the genders and use that.
Use
that material. And I really hope that's an original joke. So I'm going to feel really bad if someone else came up with that. And, you know.
You don't know if it has anybody else, so who cares?
Yeah, I think it's an original joke.
Yeah.
But
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
To me, the whole thing, dude, is like, I hate brushing things off when we understand that things are real. Like, yeah, I got a shitload of trauma. That's why I'm messed up. And like, that's their excuse. It's like, okay, just pause for a second. You're making a joke of this, and that's fine. Like, I'll make a joke of it too. But also, are you doing anything about it?
Yeah.
You're actually doing something about it? Because if you're not, I mean, continue to joke about it. Do whatever you want. That's fine. But like, you're living less of a life than you can.
Yep.
For sure.
I cannot, like, something that I cannot stand. Not something that just, like, is abrasive to me, but something that I almost have zero tolerance for is people complaining about their weight.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. Some people, they just...
For whatever reasons are where
their weight's here or way over there, and that's just their genetics. But most people, especially in America, I mean, I think it's like 37% of Americans are overweight. It might be obese. Overweight for sure. I think it's obese.
Yeah, I believe that.
You have no reason to be complaining. It's like the first time in history that overeating is more dangerous than undereating.
Yeah.
You know, like where society as a whole faces that. And I'm tying this into your example of you have no reason to complain. Like it's in your control. What are you doing about it? Are you doing everything you can? No, don't complain.
Right.
You have forfeited the right to complain by not putting in the time and effort.
Yeah, I think, and this is kind of just going all over the board, but we're doing it anyways. Dude, I think something that drives me up a freaking wall is people complaining. But it kills me because I'll try to interact with that person. And subtly, what I like my number one thing with people when I hear complaints is I subtly try to get them to say something they're grateful for without being like, oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that. What are you grateful for? I'm like, who the hell would do that? Nobody cares.
Yeah. Do you want to get dinner sometime?
Like, when I hear people complaining, I'll acknowledge it. I'll run with them, at least if it's like the first time I'm dealing with this. But if it's a continuous thing, I just don't interact with these people. But when people complain, I'm like, yeah, I acknowledge that. Yeah, okay. But also, what do you got that's good? And depending on how they answer that question tells me whether I want to interact with this person or not. If they just brush it off and go right back to a complaint, I'm like, holy crap, I don't care.
We're not going to be friends.
No, I sincerely do not care. Wish you the best. Hope you figure that shit out. But I can't interact with that.
And it's so amazing when people are very honest with themselves. And once they're honest with themselves, the mindset of, well, it really doesn't matter what you say or how you view me because I know where I'm at and I'm honest with that. Then they can branch out and be honest with others. And then you can have just these amazing conversations. You can build these great relationships. And even if you don't build relationships, just the conversations, like I've had some amazing conversations with strangers who I just could tell, like, you are being so honest. And like, I know myself, I'm being so honest. And it's just like, wow, this is an exchange.
Genuine conversation that travels places.
Tennis professionals wish they could do what we are doing.
The volley back and forth of that.
Yes.
We suck at that.
Dude, we are so bad, dude. The worst, dude.
I'm just going to start screaming over the top of
you. No, you listen to what I have to say. You will listen, and you'll like it.
You're going to listen. You're going to like it. Oh, man. No, that is something I think that might be my largest pet peeve that exists is really negativity, but an unwillingness to move past that. It's like, damn. Oh, damn. Like, you're complaining about either being alone subtly or you injured yourself or whatever. It's like, I get all of what you're saying. But holy frickin' crap.
People that just milk out the give me attention sympathy train.
Yes.
It's like, it's like at first, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm empathizing with you. I'm sorry you're going through that. Well, what can we do to make it better? And then you like try to help. You try to like, I'm offering you my energy and my time and maybe even some of my wealth to like help you. And you are just more concerned about the quick little cheap attention you're getting. And you have no intention of improving the situation.
Yes. Dude, that's a person that needs to immediately go to therapy. Like, legitimately. You are doing things that are so detrimental to your life in so many negative ways. If you're a successful person who's constantly negative, first off, think that's an oxymoron. But second off, if somehow you are, dude, you could be a frickin' juggernaut of a human being if you can flip that around.
You know, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
And I think those people have nothing to gain from therapy because they're not willing to see their wrongs in the first place. So what the heck is someone else telling them their wrongs going to do?
Right. That is inherently... So the most extreme version of what we're talking about is narcissism. Right?
Yeah,
like extreme negativity, but also I am the center of all that is important. Like the one-uppers, but on roids.
I am so sure of what I'm doing. And that's, yes, they're so sure of what they're doing that there's no way, there's no possibility that they're not doing it perfectly.
Exactly.
So why would someone else's opinion even matter?
Yeah, it's hard, dude. It's difficult. I know some people that are extremely narcissistic, and like I will interact with certain people based on relationships that have developed over time, but it is so wildly detrimental to your life to live in that nature. And I think the thing is, if you can acknowledge it, if you can even just for a moment take a minute of humility to acknowledge that state of being, hold on to that really, really hard. Really, really hard. Because narcissism is an actual mental disorder. It's not like, oh, I've just developed, well, it's partially you've developed into it, but it is an actual mental disorder where that is your state of mind. That is the nature in which your mind has developed itself into. So you are correct with your statement of therapy will not benefit them. You're entirely correct. The one thing they need to do is have a modicum of humility. If you can just have this ounce of humility that says, I may not know everything. Step into that. If you're walking through life like you know everything, or you're just so confident about everything that you do, I can almost guarantee you that deep down inside you have some level of self-doubt that just eats you alive, but you jam that down because you can't let that be a thing. It's a thing. Acknowledge it. You do not know everything. Yeah. And it's not like these people are walking around going, oh, I know everything. I'm top shit. They just exist in the manner that's like, oh yeah, well, I did this thing. Somebody's talking about, oh, I'm good at chess. Oh yeah, I'm pretty dang good at chess. Yeah. Actually, that just reminds me of something right now, but you need to have humility. Like my favorite avenue in life to study is leadership. How do you develop being an effective leader? That's just me. I love it. The two rules that I always stand by, and I will always mark it to everyone, is you need to be humble and confident. Those are two contradicting statements, but you need both of them to be an effective leader in and of this nature. Humility is we should do one of these on humility. I think that's extremely useful. Yeah. But humility is one of the best tools on planet Earth that we have for your mind. It's the thing that tells you, I don't know everything. It's the thing that allows you to learn. It's the only thing that allows you to be the person that you are right now and advance to the next person. You have to be humble enough to say, don't know that thing, need to learn that thing, gain the knowledge, and grow.
It's the constant battle between the ego and the id.
Mm-hmm.
And the ego, in order to support itself, sometimes has to turn away from truth.
Mm-hmm.
Humility crushes the ego.
Yes.
Oh, that's
right there.
Wrong choice. But it crushes the ego and says, no, I don't really care about what I think I am. What I care about is what is. So by crushing the ego, it forces everything down to the base level, which is absolute truth. And then you can operate in truth. And I don't think that it's contradictory to be confident and humble. No. I think it would be contradictory to be confident and have low self-esteem. But being humble and having low self-esteem are two very different things.
Agreed.
You know, if you're very, very humble, you're operating in a place of complete truth. You know, your ego hasn't tainted anything.
No.
It's like, no, this is what it is. Do I wish it was this, and do I wish I would feel like that and people would view me like that? Yes. But that's not what it is.
No.
Like, do I wish people would view me as a great chess player? Yes, but guess what? I'm not a great chess player.
Right.
But what am I? I'm ranked about right here.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that tell me? I need to work on the end game. I need to work on tactics.
Mm-hmm.
I need to work on openings.
It also does do something else. It affirms that you're not here. On top of the fact that it's also telling you all of your areas of gap. To your point, humility tells you the truth of what actually is.
And so you're not as low as you think you are.
Yes,
either.
you're not lingering in the space of absolutely no knowledge. You're lingering where you're not lingering. It is truth. It is acknowledging truth. I'm not this shitty. I'm not this great. I'm right here. Or, oh wow, I actually am really, really good. Not this good, but I'm really good. Or, wow, I'm not good at all. And I need to acknowledge that.
But knowing where you are allows you to build off of that.
Yes.
Because how you say, I want to go to California. Okay, what direction do you drive? Well, California's a bad example because head west.
Yeah.
Well, let's say I want to go
Missouri.
to Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's go to Iowa. Okay, are we heading west, north, east, or south? Well, where are you?
Yeah.
So in order to know how to get to where you're going, you have to know your starting point.
Yes.
Yep.
100%,
Yep.
dude.
Good. I like that.
Yeah. That is a really, really key thing. In fact, that's like the number one thing I'm doing at work right now is establishing where we are. But that is, if you do not know where you are, how do you know where you need to go? You're just flying around aimlessly, right? You have no trajectory or aim. You may create a trajectory or aim, but you're just chucking a pencil down a road. Like, is that the way you should be going? I don't know. Where are you? Oh, I'm here, and my end goal is actually over here, but I've been going this way, and that's not useful. Thought it was useful, thought that would get me where I was, but I didn't understand where I was. So no, you're thinking this is your end goal. You're thinking you're over here, so you're going left. You're really over here. Going left gets you absolutely nowhere, not where you need to be.
Further away.
Yep, exactly.
Further away. Yep. Yeah, humility. Man, it really...
We'll cover that one.
What a great thing, though, once you start to...
Acknowledge it.
And I'm a complete amateur in it, but I'm better than I was. And man, it is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you start to develop some humility and truth, you can operate in truth.
One thing I was just thinking about and I wanted to have a discussion on. We'll make it real quick. Two most influential people of all time. Okay? I didn't think about this for a while. But these are my takeaways. Two most influential people over all of history of all time. Number one would probably be Jesus Christ. But number two, and this is my opinion, would be Socrates. Okay? And both of them, one of the absolute key components that they exuded in life is humility. Legitimate humility. Which for the time and place that they both lived was not an admirable quality at all. It was, oh, you're a loser. Actively. Humility is a huge key, and I really want to cover that sometime.
Yeah, we'll have to go in depth on that. All right, man.
That was good.
All right.